Hey, hello, and welcome to this episode of Learn Everyday English, your roadway to English proficiency. Glad to have you with me again today, and we got another topic which I think you'll find interesting. It's things that I save money on compared to most people, or I could say maybe I'm probably going to use this in the title. I'm recording this before I've uploaded the video and decided on what I'm going to name it, but how I've been able to save over $1,000 a month compared to most people, and that's the key, compared to most people. How have I been able to do that? Well, I'm going to tell you in just a minute or just a second. But before I do that, there's 3 things you can do for me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and 3, tell your friends about it so that they can benefit from these videos too. Just like you. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to name this video How I Was Able to Save $1,000 a month compared to most people on my budget. And you'll see why I say this, because my life, in a way, is not like most people or most people's lives. And I've been able to save money, or not. I've been able to not spend money like other people may have to spend because of certain things and certain conditions in my life. But here, let me break it down for you. Let me break it down as let me detail it for you and show you kind of step by step. The first thing that, I'll preface this and start by saying this. My life is different because I have a chronic health condition that kind of happened to me when I was 30 years old. I've told this story, but some of you may not know this. When I was 30 years old, I went out to eat with my first wife at a seafood restaurant. And it's one evening, Friday evening. I remember it well. I woke up the following morning, that Saturday morning, and I remember saying to myself, something's not right. But I didn't really feel that bad at the time, but shortly thereafter, within an hour, my stomach started to hurt real badly, and I started feeling sick and nauseous. I began to start throwing up, and I had real bad stomach issues and having to go to the bathroom all the time. What ended up happening, I got very dehydrated from using the bathroom, having diarrhea and throwing up, and they had to give me, say, IV or intravenous fluids, and I felt better. Went to see a gastroenterologist. He said, well, you had food poisoning. I remember I wanted to die, or thought I was going to die. It was so bad. But the problem is, I got better initially, but then my health just started to get worse and worse over time. Things that I was able to eat before, I wasn't able to tolerate it. I would have a lot of stomach issues, diarrhea, and nausea, and it just kept progressing, getting worse and worse. And the only thing I can say that what happened is the food poisoning damaged my stomach and my colon. And I read this maybe years later, probably about years later after the food poisoning. There's something called post-traumatic IBS, where people have come down with some types of bugs, we say, bacteria, parasites, or whatever that causes food poisoning, and it permanently damages their gastrointestinal system or their digestive system. And it appears that that's what happened to me. So now, slowly over time, I wasn't able to eat anything with sugar, sodas, juices. Then the next thing, like ice cream, was dairy products. I couldn't tolerate those and eat those. Next thing were starches like rice, potatoes, that type of thing, bread. I used to eat all of that. And so now my diet mainly consists of meat, chicken, fish, I eat a little bit of red meat every now and then, not very often at all, and vegetables, and that's about it. So it sucks. It's not very fun at all, but it's something I've learned to live with. And as you can imagine, going on this type of diet, I have probably lost about between 30 and 40 pounds over the last 30 years by not trying. So people that complain about their weight, I say I have a surefire weight loss plan for you. Surefire means it's bound to work for you. There's no doubt about it. Just cut out all sugars, carbs, and starches, and you're going to lose weight. But most people don't want to do that, and I don't blame you because I wouldn't want to do that too. So that means I pretty much cook every day. I very rarely go out to eat because I have a problem with spices. I don't tolerate like garlic and onions. I don't know a lot of times what's in the food. So I'll go out occasionally to a steakhouse, we say, and get maybe a steak. And I have to tell them though, just salt only, and get a salad and vegetables like asparagus or broccoli or green beans, something like that. So the first thing, the way that I save money is I hardly don't go out to eat. And I looked online and Google AI, and it says that the average person spends about $150 a month going out to eat. Going out to eat at maybe Chili's, going out to McDonald's, Burger King, Olive Garden, that type of thing. I don't do that. So that's a way for me to save $150 a month. The next way I save money is that since I'm retired now, I really don't have to worry about a large wardrobe. You know that word wardrobe? Wardrobe is like clothing. I don't have to buy a lot of clothes because I don't have to go into the office every day and be around coworkers, give presentations and meetings. So I save money on that way, and a lot of people take their clothes to a dry cleaners to get certain types of clothes cleaned. I never really did that anyway while I was working, but I never really saw a benefit in that. I just washed my clothes and put them in the dryer. And so I don't have to send any clothes at all to the dry cleaners. And based on the Google information, that's $35 a month on average that people spend on dry cleaning costs. I don't have that. I live in a house on a corner with a fairly big lot or yard. It's almost half an acre. So I have a lot of grass to cut. And here in Texas, especially in the summertime, the grass grows very fast. I have to cut it about probably once every week. And being the tightwad that I am, have you heard that tightwad or tight-fisted? That means somebody that doesn't like to spend money or likes to hold on to money. I cut my own grass. I have a riding lawnmower. So if I were to pay somebody to cut the grass for me, say once a week during the summers and maybe once every other week during the rest of the year, I would have to pay somebody about $150 a month to come and do the yard work for me. So I save $150 a month by being a tightwad. The next thing that I do myself is I cut my own hair, or I give myself haircuts. And I started doing this a long time ago because I used to go to a barber to have my hair cut, but he retired. And when he retired, I went to another place, but I didn't like the way they cut my hair, and the way he did it was very simplistic. And I said, man, what he did, I could do what he did. So I went out and bought a hair cutting kit, some clippers we call it. And I started cutting my hair. I've probably been doing that for the last 20 years. And I checked the average cost of a haircut. Well, if I got my haircut, say, once every 2 weeks or twice a month, that would be save a cost of $50 a month, because a haircut for men is about $25. So I save $50 a month by cutting my own hair. The next thing that I save money on is, since I have this health condition, But two, I never really liked this. I don't drink coffee, but so I don't go to Starbucks. And I know a lot of people when I was working at the city of Houston, every morning before work, or maybe even every day after work, they would have to go to Starbucks and get that mocha latte, whatever. I don't even know the name, or pumpkin spice latte, or mochiata, or whatever it is. And as you know, Starbucks is expensive. I don't know, $4 or $5 a cup. But they would go every day, every morning, and spend money at Starbucks. So say if I did that and worked 20 days out of the month, $5 every time I went to Starbucks, that's $100 a month. So I don't do that. I don't drink coffee because I never liked the taste of it. My parents used to drink coffee every morning. So I save. I'm saying I save $100 a month because I don't go to Starbucks or I don't drink coffee at Starbucks. The sixth thing that I save money on is gym membership. I like to work out and exercise. I just decided I'm just going to walk around the neighborhood. That's free. That doesn't cost me anything. And I like to lift weights, but I have a total gym, and I use that about, say, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. I used to belong to a gym when I lived in Houston for a long time, many years, President and First Lady. I liked going there. I would do aerobics, I would lift weights, go to the sauna, but I haven't done that in quite a while. So I just try to exercise here at the house and around the neighborhood. So I don't spend, and I looked online, the average cost of a gym membership here in the United States is about $60 a month. So I save $60 a month. The next way I save money on is I reduced, I guess, the type of cable TV that I watch. We used to have a called Dish Network by AT&T. It's kind of a satellite dish, and we had that service for many years. But it got to be very expensive. We were paying about $200 a month for the Dish Network. And then my brother switched over to Hulu. It's kind of a streaming service using your internet, and we're paying for internet already. And I checked it and switched over to Hulu, and now we're paying about $87 a month. And we're getting the exact same channels we used to get with Dish Network for less than half the money. So from $200 to $87. I say, well, I'm saving now $100 a month by not going with Dish Network and going with Hulu. So that's $100 a month I've saved. Again, going back on my health condition, since I really have a problem with drinking milk, dairy products, and sugar. I don't drink sodas and juices because I have a problem with that. The only thing I drink is water, and from time to time maybe some tea. But basically I just drink water. I don't drink bottled water. I have a filter cartridge in the water dispenser in my refrigerator, and I just get the water from the refrigerator. If I have to go out somewhere, I take a container of water from the refrigerator with me and drink that. So I'm not buying any types of drinks, hardly at all. No bottled water, no milk, no juices. And I estimated savings of that is $45 a month because a gallon of milk is around $4. A 2-liter bottle of Coke is about $3. A bottled water, people spend maybe $20 a month. So I'm saying I save about $45 a month not having to buy drinks that most people drink and buy. So all those things so far added together is $690 a month. They're not going out to eat, not going to a dry cleaners for my clothes, cutting my own grass, cutting my own hair, not going to Starbucks, not having a gym membership, and switching from satellite TV to Hulu, and not having to buy drinks like milk, Coke, and juices. I'm saving $690 a month, say, compared to the quote-unquote average person. But then again, the last item on the list, which is a big ticket item, we call it a big ticket item. This is like something that costs a lot of money. is that I don't buy, say, a new car every year, or I don't buy a car every year. I don't have to change cars out. Or I don't even buy a car every 4 or 5 years. Let me give you an example. I have a Honda Civic that's bought in 2013, so it's 11 years old. It has about 120,000 miles on it. And I also have a Ford F-150 pickup truck, which is a 2012 model, so it's 12 years old. It also has about 120,000 miles on it. So both of my vehicles are fairly old. One's 11 years old, one's 12 years old. They still run well, but they do have problems. The truck does have a small transmission leak I need to try to get fixed. And very recently, my Honda, the air conditioning stopped working in it. So I need to get that checked out, but I haven't really had to spend hardly any money except routine maintenance on these vehicles since I've had them. I did buy the truck used about 5 years ago, but it has provided good service up until now. So I'm not thinking about buying a new vehicle at the moment. Just try to, get these vehicles fixed, and hopefully they'll last more years in the future. So I save money by not having to have the latest and greatest, or even a car that's 4 or 5 years old. Um, so I can save money, and I checked online the average, to say average car note. A car note is what the amount of money that you pay on a car that you buy. You have to pay either a bank or a savings and loan institution monthly, say for 4 years, 5 years, or 6 years, however long you have the note to pay back the vehicle. So the average car note, or that the cost that somebody pays for a used car here in the United States, is $500 a month. So that's $500 a month. I don't have to pay because I don't have a car note. So adding that to the $690 a month, that's $1,190 a month that I'm saving, in a way, saving compared to, say, an average person who may have all these expenses. And another thing is, I didn't include that in here, but I have no house note. I have no mortgage. The house is paid off, because that was one of the things I worked for, or worked towards, to try to ensure that once I retired, I didn't have a lot of debt. So once I retired, we paid the house off. So basically, we were debt free. And that's how I planned it over the 30 years that I had worked at the city. So now we can live comfortably. We're not rich, but like I said, we don't have a lot of expenses compared to a lot of people. And it frees you up. That's another expression. It frees you up to be able to maybe do things that you wanted to do, maybe take vacations, do things that other people can't do because they have a car note and a house note and a lot of other bills. And it's freeing, like I say, it's freeing. It frees the mind. It frees you from a lot of worrying about, hey, money. Hey, am I going to have enough money to pay all my bills because I have all this stuff going on? So I say that to say this. I say that to say this. Hey, if you're young or you're still working, think about the future. Think about your retirement. What are you going to do when you retire? Try to have a plan in place where you can be debt free if possible when you retire. It makes things a lot easier. So that's the way I save over $1,000 a month compared to most people. So what do you think about that? Do you also say save money by not spending money on the same things that I mentioned? Or are there other things that you save money on? Or do you have to spend money on some of these items that I mentioned? Hey, let me know in the comments what you do and what you thought of the video. And I thought this would be just something a little bit different for you, or for you, something a little bit different for you. And let me know. So if you like this, hey, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and 3, tell your friends about it. We'll be bringing you more videos like this about different topics, different subjects, my walk around the neighborhood, places I'm going to maybe be going and show you around town. I have an idea of another video. I live in small town Texas, And usually they're in the center of town. There's a town square where there's usually the courthouse. And around the square, there's shops and antique shops and things like that. I think it would be good video to show life in small town Texas. So I think that's going to be one of my next adventures. So be on the lookout for that. Well, again, hey, thanks for watching this episode of Learn Everyday English. Have a good rest of your day, week, wherever you're at, and we'll talk to you later. Hey, goodbye.